Buongiorno a tutti, mi chiamo Charlotte e oggi parliamo della poesia di Giuseppe Ungaretti che si chiama Di Luglio. Di Luglio. Luglio. Luglio vuol dire July. Okay, that's the month we're in now. Di luglio. Quando su ci si butta lei, si fa d'un triste colore di rosa il bel fogliame. Strugge fore, beve fiumi, macina scogli, splende. È furia che s'ostina, è l'implacabile. Sparge spazio, accecamente. È l'estate e nei secoli con i suoi occhi calcinanti va della terra spogliando lo scheletro. So I was just thinking about some of the words there. Sometimes I have to stop and think about the way they're said. So let's have a look at this lovely poem, which is full of like physical, geographical kind of vocab, which I really like. So, quando su ci si butta lei. So, di luglio, I should write. Di luglio. In July. Okay. July. Quando su ci si butta lei. So when she throws herself into it. Lei, so it's describing the female gender, feminine gender to il mese di luglio, okay? Eccolo, quando, when, su means kind of up or into, kind of, or onto, ci si can you see that there? Butta lei. Buttarsi is to throw oneself. It's a reflexive verb. Si, preceding the conjugated verb, is the reflexive pronoun, and the buttare in the third person is butta, and lei tells you, it kind of emphasizes the person who does something, okay? It puts emphasis on the subject of the sentence. Quando su ci si butta lei, when she throws herself into it. Let's see if I've got another way of saying that. Throws herself in. Si fa d'un triste colore di rosa il bel fogliame. So this is something that happens quite often in Italian, so it's slightly different structure to the English. Si fa is like the impersonal way of saying of it is made, or it makes. D'un triste colore di rosa, of a triste is the adjective sad, colore di rosa, pink color of pink. Il bel fogliame, the beautiful or the lovely foliage. So July, when it throws itself in, when it gets involved, if you like, when it gets to work, it makes of the beautiful foliage a sad pink color. Okay. Struggere is struggere, to melt. Sì. Forre, so una forra is like a ravine. So this is saying it melts ravines, or like, what's another word for a ravine? Like a gorge, I guess. Beve is from the verb bere, which is to drink. There's only one R. I don't know what I'm doing with my R's this evening. Just practicing the trilling, I suppose. Beve, fiumi. Fiumi is the plural of the masculine noun fiume, which ends with an E in the singular, and that means a river. So it drinks rivers. So again, this is talking about the month of July, Luglio. So we've got lots of verbs here in the third person singular which agree with the subject, and they've attributed lei, like a feminine kind of gender, to the month, as far as I can tell. Si butta. I'm trying to look backwards at the screen, so I'll just look at my printed version of the poem. Strugge, beve. Okay, so these are verbs here. Macina, scogli. Macinare. I feel like it means to like chew up, but let's find a better translation for that. Ah, yeah, like to grind stuff, like, yeah. Macina, scogli, that's rocks or like cliffs. Okay. Splende, that means to shimmer or to shine or to gleam or to glisten. So it breaks up rocks, or it grinds rocks, grinds down rocks. It shines. E furia, it is fury, like hot, anger, fury. Rage is kind of an anger, kind of heat, kind of element to the word fury. And that's the verb essere in the third person. Okay. Sostina. Okay, so that's S apostrophe, and then the verb ostinare, ostinarsi, so it's a reflexive verb here in the third person, again agreeing with the subject, the third person singular subject of il mese di luglio. Strugge fore, beve fiumi, macina, scogli, splende, e furia che sostina. So it is fury that persists, is persisting, or that drives it forward. Okay, let's look at the verb ostinarsi. Ostinarsi. Yeah, makes it carry on. È implacabile. Implacabile. Okay, implacabile. Implacatable. Unrelenting. Something that you can't placate. Implacabile. Implacabile. Implacable. Merciless. Unrelenting. There you go. So relentless. Okay, something that doesn't stop. Sparge, spazio. Spargere. Okay. To spread out. Or there's other ways of saying this, like that consumes. It depends how you take this. Spargere. So to spill out, maybe. Let's have a look. Yeah, to spill, to spread out. There's a sense of when something gets wider and spreads out, kind of to consume. This is poetry, so it can, this could be translated how you want. But the general meaning is to spread or to spill out into spazio, space. Accecare is to make something blind, to blind something. Cieco is like the adjective, to be blind, or describing something. Acceca mete, una meta. So una meta could be like an objective or a goal or an aim. So let's see how this is translated. Yeah. So when you have a goal or an aim or an objective or something that you're hoping to achieve, objective and goal and aim is something that you point towards. So there's a bit of a juxtaposition here of the verb to make something blind, to take away the sight, and then this noun which is kind of based upon something that you're aiming towards. Okay, so I quite like that there. And then è l'estate, it is the verb essere, l'estate, this season now, summer. È nei secoli, and in the centuries, or over the centuries, over time, con with its suoi, I suoi occhi, that's with its eyes, gli occhi, its eyes, calcinanti, I'm not exactly sure what the adjective is in English, but so calcinare, I looked it up, and so calcine, I think, is the verb in English. Yes, calcine. So let me see. To reduce or oxidize or desiccate, this is on just like Google, by roasting or exposing to strong heat. So I found a translation of this occhi, con I suoi occhi calcinanti, and I found with its burning eyes, which is quite nice because it's burning is a close kind of but not accurate translation. So it means its eyes would maybe calcinated. I don't know, it's a little bit off the poetry kind of vocab, a little bit too literal, but to desiccate with heat, or to roast and dry with heat. So have a little think of burnt eyes maybe. I like the adjective desiccated, dried by heat. It's similar to this sort of idea of like blinding a path or something, or a goal. Anyway, so, but elsewhere I found calcinanti to be translated as burning, which isn't exactly accurate. Va della terra, it goes, or she goes, it, he, she. We're talking about Luglio, the month. Della terra, from the earth. La terra, that's our planet. It's also the soil, the ground, the earth. Spogliando lo scheletro. Okay, so lo scheletro is the skeleton. So it goes from the earth. Della is the preposition di, followed by the article la, which precedes a feminine noun such as la terra. So di and la go together and make della. That's like a combined or articulated preposition. So spogliando is to undress or to strip, as in to take clothes off something. Oh, there was another way of translating that which I quite liked. If we put in spogliando, so spogliere is the verb, but spogliando is the gerund form of the verb spogliare. Spogliare, to disrobe or to unclothe, undress, strip, take the clothes off something. So disrobing, undressing the skeleton of the earth. So this is, first of all, this personifies the month of Luglio, July, and the verbs within the poem are conjugated in agreement with the subject of the poem, which is Luglio, the month. It's a feminine, it's like personified as a feminine entity, if you like. But also we have these quite hard and kind of masculine, you could say, nouns and verbs, such as, and actually we've got a juxtaposition of like this lovely, like the sad pink, and il bel fogliame, beautiful foliage. And then we've got things like ravines, rivers, cliffs, fury, unrelenting, spazio, so space, objectives and goals, and then this, and then we've got the feminine kind of sounding estate, rosa, pink, summer. What else have we got? So we've got the juxtaposition there of like the masculine and the feminine. So let's just have a look at that again. Quando su ci si butta lei, si fa d'un triste colore di rosa il bel fogliame. Strugge fore, beve fiumi, macina scogli, splende, e furia che s'ostina, è implacabile. Spargi spazio, acceca mette, e l'estate, e nei secoli con I suoi occhi calcinanti va dalla terra, spogliando lo scheletro. Yeah, so we've got this kind of like feminine entity going through the poem, which is actually decimating, if you like. The way it's being described is that it's exhausting the what is there in the summer. It's drinking the rivers away, grinding down the cliffs, changing the colour of the foliage to pink, sad pink, and over the years with its dry eyes, desiccated eyes, it disrobes the skeleton of the earth. So I wonder what you think about that. So what I've got here is I've got the verbs that we find listed out in the handout, which we sent out to you this evening. Got the verbs there, we've got the link to this video, and we've also got a link to where you can find the original poem online, and a link that will take you to Wikipedia, an article talking about Giuseppe Ungaretti, and then there's an opportunity there for you to find the various verbs which are listed, find the iterations of them in the Italian poem, but also if you can't remember what they mean, you can go and find the meanings and look at how they are used in the text. Most of them are in the third person singular lui lei form. Try and find if there's anything in there that is a bit more difficult to understand. So if it's difficult to understand, that will give you an indication of the kind of areas that you can look into to improve your Italian language. But I think what you'll find is there's mostly ARE verbs, and then a few ERE verbs. And then we've got a couple of, so most of them are quite like regular in the way that you conjugate them. But we do have a few very common irregular verbs, such as essere and andare, bere, for example. We've also got an impersonal construction here, and two, I think, reflexive verbs. So it's quite a nice little poem to look at. It's not too long, and we've got some quite unusual verbs, but also a couple of really common ones which happen to be irregular. Okay, so the kind of thing which are worth looking at. But I can't see that there's any particular rhyming pattern, but it's not always necessary in poetry, is it? So I hope that's useful. Thank you very much for listening, and if you're interested in joining my Italian club, you can find all the information underneath the video in the video description box below. Grazie mille e alla prossima. prossima volta.